want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What do you need? For your first match, we'll start you off against a mighty ogre. I'll be watching your style closely to see how you fare. Impress me, and I'll take you to the top. Even our great champions start out against the ogre. Take Raging Ox, who danced around the beast singing drunkenly to earn the crowd's favor, or the Ravager, who defeated him in a single blow. I should take a moment and explain the system we use here. That's the spirit. Dive right in with both feet first. It's not that difficult a system, and you seem bright enough to figure it out. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A new warrior does battle with the beast.
Dire Flame. Demon form. Leaping Tiger.
That was an impressive beginning. Normally I'd have started you off against something easier, but you practically ooze potential. You've caught the eyes of the other fighters as well. Go ask them if you don't believe me.
That really was a fantastic bout!
Beating the ogre's nothing special. I could have done better bound and blinded.
Sometimes you don't even need to ask. One fight does not make a champion, though. There are many more opponents ahead of you. Let's move on, shall we? Be sure to return when you're ready to continue your climb through the qualifying round.
Tha'awir nis tu kuwiruk. Ayer fun. Soir irwu nisir tintina yewir. Uksir watuafu ni yefroto usosawir. Uktatasir ni ryoki. Ukwiro ni sayir tatasir yu. Wo nawir sir fu ni winyanakan. Wo sawir noka ukrapro ni apawafa son sir tu wirwu. Ukwiro ni sayir tatasir yu. Wo nawir sir fu ni winyanakan. Tir nik puntuir. Poir noka uk. Sayir takitir noni. Uksir, wat tuafu, froetro soir, fuarir, nsonsi, noka uk frotir noni. Uktatasir ni ryoki, ka sisayir na wurk awukategi. Onu yuir indikan sun puir anuk pakuk, ono yusayir. Uksayir caritas fonir sisayir ir furk tatasir, ir karano sakupono. Wo ifuir uk sunurk danowe na waf tatasiruk, kitir nonni nikuyo ipir ta. Wono wir ifuir uk wasafno sisitu. Kwawir ni sisir sisitu kun wano sisitu nik onwipifir. Wo yo wir Shakespeare woso.
What? Whatever.
I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What do you need? Since you held your own against the ogre brute last time, I'm going to try something exciting for the crowd. I've got 4 boys from some school west of the city who've been bothering me for some tougher matches. I'm giving you all of them at once. It'll wow the crowd and teach them a lesson at the same time. Remember to watch your sides and back. Are you ready to get started? Excellent.
Four students test their skills against one master.
Those boys won't be back anytime soon. Losing as a group to one opponent would shame a peasant, let alone a student of the martial arts. Be sure to return when you're ready to... I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What do you need? The crowd's starting to catch on to you. Have you noticed? People like you, and now I'm going to make sure they pay attention. I'm going to have a roughly hewn statue hauled into the ring. I want you to disconstructulate it. Destroy the statue quickly enough, and I'll give you a shot at hapless Han. Are you ready to get started? Excellent.
Unyielding stone meets the press of time.
This is your...
Excellent work. You have bested time itself in destroying that statue. No mean feat, I assure you. I think you're ready to face hapless Han. Show me you're ready for the big time, and I'll make sure you don't have to dance with the children anymore. Are you ready to get started? Excellent.
Can Silver Phoenix surpass Hapless Han and leave the qualifying division?
Toad Demon Form. Leaping Tiger.
You dealt with Han very well. I knew you would. All of our professional fighters move past him eventually.
Kui, that will be enough. I bring you a message from my employer, Kai Lan the Serpent. He is impressed with how far you have come in such a short while. The Serpent wants you to know that he is watching your progress very closely. He is most interested to see how you fare in the Bronze Division. Kui, you may breathe again. That is all I had to say.
Well, that was good, I think. Lucky Cho is a thug, pure and simple, but he's very good at what he does. He's also a member of the guild and reports directly to Kai Lan. Kai Lan oversees things here in the arena, and the guild ensures that the authorities leave us in peace. He has a distinct interest in the proceedings here. He is an ex-champion, you see. He retired some time ago, even before Raging Ox, who was the champion before the Ravager. Kylon couldn't leave the arena alone, though. He has become a very important man here with the help of a group called the Guild. The Guild is the organization that controls all of the betting in this place. That gives them considerable sway. It is good that they are happy with your progress. Between us, the Guild is also involved in more illicit activities. They are very sensitive about remaining an open secret. Many know about them, but few acknowledge that fact. Right now is a particularly dangerous time, as one of the leaders of the Guild has recently been inhumed. Kylon sees this as an opportunity. Do not discuss them openly. The Guild has many ears. You may ask some of the others in the arena about them if you wish, but I would not bring it up to just anyone. I would not recommend that. I'm sure the authorities are already aware of their existence. Reporting them for activities you cannot prove is like stirring a chamber pot with a short stick. You're the one likely to lose in that situation. For the sake of your career, I suggest that you limit any questions you have to your fellow fighters.
Well done! That fight was much better than this wine. With all the pure water pouring from the palace, you'd think they might have learned how to make wine that didn't taste like goat piss.
Black Whirlwind, that is you. Are you back to...
No, just here visiting, and making sure nothing happens to your newest fighter.
So you won't be...
No, leave it alone, Quee. You know better than to bring this up. Just mind your business, promoter, and I'll mind mine.
You travel in curious company. Regardless, when you're ready, come talk to me again and we'll discuss your next match. I know him, yes, but I know better than to contravigate his wishes. If you want to talk about it, ask him. I'm staying out of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must prepare for your entry into the Bronze Division. It will take me a bit of time before you'll be ready for your next fight. You should talk to the other fighters here. They've been watching you and are getting nervous. Of course, I'll need more time than that for these preparations. It's just a matter of preparing the proper documents. Why don't you kill the time by making your way out into the city? See the sights. Maybe visit the Golden Way or the Scholar's Garden. Actually, that reminds me. A woman was here watching your fight against Hapless Han, dressed all in black and veiled. She seemed impressed with your preference. Just before she left, she told me to tell my new fighter that she was still waiting to see you. She said you'd know where. Sounds like quite the invitation.
What? What do you want? No, I don't think so. I've told you to watch your back, and that's all you need to hear for now. If anything needs to be done beyond that, I'll do it. I don't know. Hopefully nothing, but I'm keeping my eyes open. You just carry on and know that the Black Whirlwind's got your back. Not literally, of course. I respect you too much to go grabbing anything posterior. Good idea. You've got bigger things to worry about than me anyway. Not much bigger, mind you. Whatever.
Look who stands before us, brothers. You are the unstoppable force that left poor Han a cluttered pile of optimistic wreckage at the side of the arena. I'm sure he will bounce back as fresh as ever, though. He always does. We can tell you to be careful whom you ask about such things. Secrets kept in the open are the most sensitive.
The serpent who dwells in the shadows of this place. Like an air spirit, he is everywhere and yet invisible to the eye.
Brother Sui puts it well. Kailan the Serpent is the guild's will in this place, powerful enough that only the brave or foolish discuss him at any length. Besides running the most expansive betting operation in the Empire, I speculate that they do much more than that, but we have been smart enough not to find out. We question things in the arena, though. For example, why are we allowed to fight as one body when the rules suggest such a thing should be illegal? The guild cares more for a good show than fair play. Good shows keep the bet money flowing, especially if a favored fighter were to suddenly and surprisingly lose.
I agree. I don't want them around anymore. They scare me.
If you let fear guide your decisions, Brother Boo, you will find that you have walked the coward's path.
Philosophy aside, the Empire certainly could wipe them out. But wouldn't another similar organization appear? Regardless, if something could be done, the Empire would have done it already. Oh yes, we shall see you around. Of that you can be sure.
Uktatasir ni ryoki, ka sisayir na work awukategi. Uksir watuafu ni froto usosawir, uktatasir ni ryoki. Woyo wir Shakespeare.
Boy, that sure was something. I wouldn't have wanted to be me out there, except that I was. But I learned so much from facing you. Next time I should try some of that fancy stuff you do. I'm not exactly sure how you did it, though. You know, that's a good idea. I tend to focus on myself more than others. Perhaps I can learn some new tricks. Thanks for the encouragement. It's always nice of you to stop by and chat. A lot of people who move past me in the arena never look back.
Looks like you're still walking after that last match. Too bad. You ground the hapless one beneath your feet like everyone else does, huh? Han's pathetic for wasting time on the hopefuls, if you ask me. Then again, watching Han stumble to Dr. On every time he tries to handle the real Bronze Division fights is one of the most entertaining things about this place. Good. Go bother someone else.
Don't you just love the Imperial Arena? No other place like it in all of the Jade Empire. Wait a moment. You're Silver Phoenix. How very nice to meet you. I'm Lady Rento. Oh, poor Yukong. Captain Sen's still willing to do my husband's bidding and hunt him down, is he? I swear, my husband is insufferable. Yukong's a harmless aspiring actor who asked me if I would act as his patron. Since my husband was away from the city, again, I accepted and gave Yukong a moderate stipend. I thought he was charming. That was how my husband presented the situation to the authorities. He didn't want to face the shame of supporting a humble actor. My husband's a fool, but when he lowers his head, all I can do is let him charge and hope he rams something solid enough to slow him. Probably less than my husband is putting forth as a bounty for poor Yukong. That young man doesn't deserve this. I would wager that you'll find him in the Scholars' Garden. Yukong was going to try out for that new play. It's going to be put on soon in the Golden Way, I'm told. Should be exciting to watch. Yukong was going to try out for a role as a scholar, so he may be using his costume to hide in the garden. He's not much of a scholar, so you should be able to spot him. If you happen to find creative Yukong, do go easy on him, would you? The poor boy did nothing wrong, and my husband is being unusually cruel to him. Good luck with your search. I have to get back to the estate, so much to do.
Many people try to break into the Bronze Division and fail miserably. You should be proud of yourself.
You deserve it. It was an honor to face you.
Crimson Kana is the champion of this round. You'll have to face her eventually. Be ready when you do. Your next fight? I'd love to, but I'm still arranging the details of your entry into the Bronze Division. Besides, didn't you have some mysterious lady in black looking to meet you? Hardly an invitation I'd turn down.
Excuse me, out of my way. I've got to get these buns to the Scholars' Garden. Quick, now move.
I'm very sorry. Please accept my heartfelt apologies. My husband has the manners of a strutting cock sometimes.
I seem to recall you rather enjoyed my, strutting at one time, old woman.
Shush now! You'll offend the gods of decency. This poor traveler's likely to think that the Imperial City is full of indecent folk and offensive talk. Now then, after all the trouble we've caused you, is there anything we can help you with? We've got fresh buns. Just made them myself.
Talk. That's all people want to do. I don't get paid to talk. I sell buns. That's what I do.
Ha! No time to talk, he says. The only time you're ever quiet is when you're eating one of my buns. Now be polite and answer some questions.
We're members of the local traveling circus. I'm a fire eater and Lena is a juggler. We just sell buns on the side to make a little extra silver.
Junda, could you try to be civil just this once? This buffoon of a man is Junda, and I am Lena, his wife, as he is fond of reminding me. We sell buns here in the city. Well, I bake, and he sells.
Go then. I have buns to sell, and it doesn't look like you're buying.
Don't mind him. He just takes a while to get used to. Much like an ache in the bones if it lasts long enough. Eventually, you learn to ignore it. Good day to you.
I just hope we don't bump into my suspicious spouse.
Hello again. What can I do for you today? Here you go. There's quite a lot.
My grandfather fought in the arena. Once.
The princess is very beautiful. If I was like her, then all the girls would like me.
I greet you, sir. I wonder if you might have some silver to spare. I come from a very wealthy family. As such, I have a certain lifestyle to maintain. Parties, female admirers, lots of wine. You understand. I have to have an income, don't I? My father looked at my considerable expenses and told me to get my own silver. Ah, but I am a noble. The shame of manual labor or the stink of trade must not be allowed to touch me. How could there be shame? You've got it and I want it. Should I steal it? Never. Simply ask like a civilized soul, I say. I read all the greatest philosophers and consulted with wise men before reaching this decision. I assure you the philosophical underpinnings are quite sound. Wisdom is only gained by experience, wine, women, and song, as it were. But a life of revel with no reflection still does not lead to true wisdom. One must ponder, one must daydream. Even if I could bear the shame of sullying my hands with work, when would I think? How could I grow wise? Well, it loses some of the subtlety when you put it that way. But yes. I thank you. It's not easy for one such as I. I have it far more difficult than the impoverished beggars of this city. Farewell.
The log drop was clearly not caused by any excessive bathing on your part.
Your parentage is below average, and your ancestry is of questionable worth. You dress yourself in the manner of a common laborer. Nobody's paying any attention.
Keep trying, just as I instructed.
Your physique seems exceptional. Clearly you are a peasant. A noble could afford sloth. Your breath is like the wind of an ox. Your last meal was of suspect quality. Your beliefs are superficial, and your culture is substandard.
You are right to demand an explanation. Forgive my servant. I instructed him to find someone not distracted by mere insults, someone who would command respect. Your demand for justification of his arguments was admirable. You are exactly what we need. An outlander strolled into the city several days ago and now sits like a cormorant taking what he wants from the river of our hospitality. He balks at our attempts to calm him and answers requests for payment with strange coins of questionable value. He needs to go. The outlander is not a dignitary or traveling merchant. He is a parody of civilized behavior. He spews insults at the emperor himself. So far, he has escaped the notice of any higher officials. Perhaps he was mistaken for an actor in a troupe, but that will not last. If he is reported, the Lotus assassins will take notice. They'll want to know if he was harbored or his offense was encouraged. Guilt by association is enough for them. That's what's so infuriating. He doesn't respond to reason. He proposes challenges we don't understand, and then declares himself the winner. Several of our brightest have faced him, but as soon as they get the better of him, he sets off his strange firework and says they are beaten. Normally, the peasants like it when we intellectuals are maligned, but they tire of his presence too. Getting rid of this nuisance will endear you to many. I hope your ability matches your conviction. Several others have fallen short, despite their outrage at his antics. He is in the scholar's garden, and no amount of opposition has moved him. Please, I hope you will prove to be a worthy opponent.
Oh good, another fighter. Just what this city needs. More fighters.
Ah, the smell of success. My sweet Lily would prefer that I smell of sweat and yeast instead.
I didn't expect you in your strange training to make it to the Imperial City. You are proving to be a very interesting person. Of course, I could tell that just by looking at you. You have a very strong presence. As the Heavenly Lily, I am above suspicion, but I am restrained by fawning servants. Silk Fox can go anywhere, and people are not shy about their reactions. There is a thrill, of course, and it allows me to find information useful to us both.
Death's Hand brought your Master Li to the palace a few days ago. I saw the flyer. He was bound in chains. He must be powerful, or you are. There was something familiar about him as well. Why would you say that? Is that what he told you? I'm sorry, but I simply cannot believe that your Master Li is the glorious strategist. I was too young to know him. I was told that he and Prince Qin, the third brother, fell defending the Empire 20 years ago. Now it seems they may have been traitors. I discovered this looking through records for information on Death's Hand. Perhaps he tried to influence Sun Li and Sun Qin before corrupting my father. But it doesn't matter who your master is. I could take you to the palace, but Death's Hand controls what my father hears. He must be discredited for you to succeed. Death's Hand has almost total control over my father. We must find conclusive evidence of his crimes and reveal his corruption. And I know how. Construction on the wall has stopped for the first time in generations. The workers now toil in factories building powerful creatures of stone and clay called golems. Death's Hand could use these automatons to seize the Empire, and my father is oblivious. We must infiltrate the Lotus Assassins and find evidence of this treachery. My father may have approved the factory without considering what it could be used for. If we just tell him my suspicions, he will dismiss them. We need proof of Death's Hand's intent from the seat of his power, the Lotus Assassin Fortress. It would be impossible to assault, so just walk in. They are recruiting. Have any Lotus Assassins who saw your face live to report back? I doubt it. They will not recognize you as the person who fought them in Tian's Landing. They have a vague description full of guesswork that has guards holding people at random. Besides, they expect an attack, not someone trying to catch their eye. I would wager that you may profit from their tasks too. Can you see the beauty in using their own methods of recruitment to fight them? I think they deserve it. There are guilds within the Lotus Assassins. Executioners look for fearsome warriors. Inquisitors are more subversive, and they look for cunning in their agents. If you prove yourself in the arena, they will notice you. My people can spread rumors of your interest. The Executioner will take a real interest when you finish the silver round. Or, if you prefer, the Inquisitor recruiter is also seeking new people. He might be open to persuasion. Death's Hand rules over the Lotus Assassins, so I take special interest in their activities. I've had most of my life to ask questions. You suspect my motives? You have no reason to doubt me. If I wanted the Lotus Assassins to find you, I could simply tell them your name. Ask Scholar Dongao in the Scholar's Garden about him. Dongao is closer to the Assassins than he should be. He will tell you where to meet the Inquisitor. Or seek the Executioner. My people will spread rumors of your interest, and he will approach you in the arena. They like fighters who have passed the silver round. I will wait at your flyer. Or I could travel with you. Before you get too lost, perhaps we should discuss how closely we will be working together? A wise preference. No offense intended to your amusing companions.